Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TokYo-Yo Tutorials. My name is T. Today I'm getting into the trick that everybody always talks about. It's a trick that seems to trip up a lot of people, and it certainly tripped me up. The trick I'm going to be teaching you today is Brent stole, which looks like this. And actually, Brent stole is pretty difficult when you start out, but I find that once you figure out the knack for it, it's easy to hit almost every time. In fact, I hit this one more than I can hit the Hidemasa hook. So slow it down, of course, show it to you from a point of view perspective and show you different tips and angles. So by the end of this, hopefully you'll have all the tools you need in your arsenal to take care of Brent stole, no problem. So here's the tutorial. So the yo-yo I'm going to be using today is the R-Throwers Community Prototype, and the strings I'm going to be using are Anti-Freeze Thick by Zipline. So first thing you want to make sure with this trick is that you keep your string tension neutral. You don't ever want to have any twists in the string. It makes it much harder to learn than it normally should be. And you want to make sure that you just keep all your steps in mind. Don't get too overwhelmed. It can be a little tricky at first, so just make sure you go step by step. I'm going to break everything down here. First thing you want to do is make sure your whips are nice and clean, you keep everything in plane, and remember that every time you attempt this, you're putting another twist in the string, so keep that in mind while you're practicing. Now the way this trick is going to work is you're going to whip the yo-yo straight up, and as the whip comes around, you're going to grab the string with your non-throw hand, and the loop that you created is going to keep going over and behind the string that you were holding before, and that loop is going to go into the yo-yo. Then you're going to pop out the front of that green triangle you've created, and you're going to bind from there. It's actually that simple. Let's break it down. So you're going to whip it around, and you're going to grab the string with your non-throw hand pointer right about when the string is about parallel with your hands, thereabouts. And that string, that whip is going to continue around. You can see, and it whips over this and behind the string you were holding between your throw hand and your non-throw hand, and it hooks into the gap of the yo-yo. Then you're going to pop it out the front of that green triangle. Make sure you go out the front, not the back, or you'll have a big nasty knot to deal with. And you're good to bind. Let's go over it again here. Whip it up, grab it with your non-throw hand. You can see the loop we've created here. And you also want to push your right hand or your throw hand forward a little bit. You can see here I'm pushing it forward just a little bit. And what that does is it gets the string out of the way so that the loop you created can whip over, as you see here, over that string and behind the string into the gap of the yo-yo. And that's key. You'll find that if you push your throw hand forward just a little bit, that's really, really going to help you. And then you pop it out the front, as we mentioned before. Here it is full speed. You can see there's a lot going on in a very short time, but once you practice, it becomes very, very easy. Here we go again, even slower. So you're going to pop the yo-yo up, whip it around the string, grab it, pinch it with your pointer on your non-throw hand. Remember to move that throw hand forward just a little bit, get that string out of the way. That whip is going to come around and go over and behind the string you're holding between your throw hand and your non-throw hand. It goes right into the gap of the yo-yo, and it kind of does that by itself. If you keep your hands in the right spot, you don't have to do a lot more than that. Go around. That quick. It's really, really fast trick actually, and I think that's why it intimidates people. Let's break it down in slow motion again. You're going to pop it straight up in the air, whip it around, pinch the string with your pointer on your non-throw hand. Make sure you move that throw hand forward a little bit, and that loop should naturally travel over the string you were holding between your throw hand and your non-throw hand, and it should go right into the gap kind of by itself. Pop out the front and bind. One last time for you guys. Whip it around, pinch it with your pointer, make sure you move that throw hand forward just a little bit, and that loop will just travel naturally over the string between your two hands. And pop out the front. You guys just learned Brent stole. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped you. Brent stole is a challenging trick, and it can be a little bit funky to figure out. But like I said, once you figure it out, I find that it's actually extremely easy to hit. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to help out. But hopefully I covered everything that'll help you figure this trick out. And of course, you're just gonna need to practice. Practice. And once you get the motion, once you get the feel of where your hands need to be, it'll be no problem for you. Anyway, everybody, thanks so much for watching today. Take care, have a nice day, and sayonara.